Remembering as you surrender into the simple back bend, focusing on your body arriving at your mat in this shape, welcoming each breath into your body. The simple back bend is a great counterpose to everyday life. No matter whether you sit at a desk all day or not, just everything that we do is in front of us. It's in this forward plane of movement. So now just taking everything back a little. And really, this is about as much extension as what we need in our spine. If you're to reach your arms up overhead, reaching for something up in the cupboard or hanging your washing on the line, this is about as much extension as what your thoracic spine needs, as what your lower back needs. Noticing how when you're lying on your back in this shape, draped over your prop, bringing the extension to your spine, how it makes your breath feel. Is there a little bit more ease in your breath? Perhaps there is, perhaps there isn't. So there's no wrong or right way to feel. Just noticing what it is for you. But often we're helping out the respiratory system here by placing our body in this shape. The diaphragm doesn't have to work as hard to push the ribs out. The accessory muscles in your chest don't have to work so hard to open up the chest, creating all the space for the lungs to expand. And when you think of it, when you're stressed or you're anxious, what shape your body takes. You know, we kind of withdraw and hug in forward in that opposite direction, which restricts our breathing. Noticing where your body moves as you breathe in and out. So today's class, we're going to play around with the breath a little, with our bodies in different shapes, and look at how, by breathing into different areas of our body, it can help to stabilize our spine, stabilize our pelvis, bring support to our body. If you have an intention already that you're working towards this week, please feel free to bring to mind that intention. Repeat it to yourself 3 times. Or you might like to set yourself an intention for today or for this week, or the weekend, sorry. If you're setting a new intention, word it as if it's already so, and repeating it to yourself 3 times. And once you've set your intention, just separate the knees, bring your feet in a little closer towards your buttocks, press down through the feet, lift your hips, slide your blanket out from underneath you or your pillow, and lower the hips back down. Take your arms out to the side in the form of a cross, and then windscreen wiping the knees side to side. Just a little, checking in with how it feels as you roll from inner outer edge of the feet, roll along the back of the pelvis, noticing if it feels different one side to the other. Maybe there's a little bit more range of movement on one side than the other. And then once you've done even number, next time your knees are over to the right, press through your left foot. If it's comfortable in your left shoulder, reaching your left arm back. It's like you've first woken up in the morning, reaching out, big stretch through the body. And then bringing your left arm out to the side, knees through the center, over to the left. And if it's comfortable in your right shoulder, reaching your right arm back. And taking your arm out to the side, back to the center with the knees, and bringing one knee in towards your chest and then the other. If it feels good to hug the knees in, hugging them in. If you want to rock side to side, rocking side to side. And then either roll to the right, press through the hands to come up, or keep knees and chin to chest and rock and roll and come all the way up. Good morning. Now let's come onto hands and knees into tabletop. If you've got a blanket there and it's more comfortable to have a blanket across your mat underneath your knees, and take the time to place it there. And then coming into your tabletop with wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, so that the weight is evenly distributed across all 4 points. Spreading your fingers comfortably, middle fingers pointing towards the front. And then bending your elbows, dropping your shoulders down away from the ears. Hug the elbows, the armpits in, bringing stability to the upper back. Tuck the toes under. See how many toes want to tuck under. And on your next breath in, inhale, reaching the chest forward, eye gaze towards the front of the mat to cow. On the exhale, press the floor away, draw the chin in, round through the back, release the toes to cat. That inhaling, tucking the toes, bend the elbows, gently stretching the front of the body to cow. Exhaling, pressing the floor away, draw the chin in, round through the back to cat. And again, deep breath into cow. Exhaling into cat. Just do a couple more, moving with the rhythm of your own breath. Tuning into how it feels in your body this morning. One more full breath in and out. And then coming into neutral spine. And this time we're going to reverse the breath. So take a deep breath in, press through the hands, come into cat pose. And then exhale, tuck the toes, bend the elbows, stretch the front of the body to cow. Inhale, press through the hands, chin to chest, spread the shoulder blades, release the toes. Exhale into cow, bending the elbows, tucking the toes, gently stretching the front body. Do a couple more with the breath reversed like this. Noticing maybe a different sensation in each shape as you reverse the breath. One more full breath in and out. And then coming into neutral spine, keeping the toes tucked under. Shift your hands, one whole hand to
Lost lining.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
I was in down dog for like 10 minutes.
I know. Why aren't you all still in down dog? Get back in there, down dog. I was just about to run upstairs to try and connect to a different modem. I was like, okay, I'm back. That was just because Leah joined us now. So, so if you're not in down dog still, bend the elbows, tuck the toes, press up into down dog. Bending the knees, pressing through the fingertips, reaching your sit bones high. And then even giving your head a little yes-no action, just relaxing the neck muscles. Then draw your chin in towards your throat, lengthening the back of the neck. Noticing where your head is in relation to your arms. So as you draw the chin in, bringing the ears maybe even slightly back behind the arms rather than pushing the head through between the arms. So think of if you were hanging the washing on the line, where would your arms be in relation to your shoulders? They're probably in front of your ears, your head slightly. We'll move on the breath. Inhale, lowering the knees to the floor. Keep the hands where they are. Exhale, press your hips back as far as what's comfortable for knees and hips. Inhaling, unfurling up on the hands and knees. Bend the elbows, tuck the toes. Lift your hips back up into down dog, pressing up with the knees bent. Inhale, lower the knees to the floor. Exhale, sending your hips all the way back to your heels, child's pose. Again, unfurling up on the hands and knees. Bend the elbows, tuck the toes, lifting your hips up high to down dog. Once more, lowering the knees to the floor. Exhale, sending your hips back toward your heels. Coming back up on the hands and knees, pressing up into down dog, and then pausing in down dog and lifting right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Now pause here for a moment. Look back at your right foot, all 5 toes pointing towards the floor. Bend your left knee a lot because we're going to come into core plank and we want the driving force to come from the ball of the left foot or the big toe of the left foot. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, push through the ball of the left foot and drive your right knee into your chest, shoulders forward over the wrist. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. So bend your left knee as you push back through your right heel. Exhale, push into the ball of the left foot, driving the knee in. Once more, reaching back, bend the left knee, bend it a lot. Exhale, push into the left foot, knee to chest, core plank. And reaching back, three-legged dog, lowering your foot to the floor. Lift left leg into the air, pause here. Check all 5 toes, left foot pointing down. Bend your right knee a lot. This is where the building the pose from the foundation of the right big toe. Deep breath in on your exhale. Push through the ball of the right foot to bring your knee into chest. Inhale, reaching back. Right knee bends a lot. Exhale, bring the knee forward. As you reach back, push back through your heel. So rather than taking the foot up and then extending the knee, as you push back through the heel. Keep the line of energy engaged. Core plank. Three-legged dog. And then lowering the foot to the floor, knees to the floor. Tuck the toes under, come up onto your heels for toe squat. Now it's nice and warm, hey? So if toe squat isn't comfortable, please feel free to release the toes or even come sitting on your butt. Interlace the fingers and bring your knuckles around to the left side of your waist. And then letting the head drop over to the left. Taking a couple of breaths here. Into the side of the neck. Use the warmth in your body to release any tightness. Head back to the center, knuckles around to the other side, and then lowering your head to the side. And head back to the center, releasing the arms. Bring the hands forward, tabletop position, release the toes, and then shifting your hands one whole hand's distance further forwards. Bend the elbows, tuck the toes, lift your hips up into down dog, and lifting your right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, lift the hips up high, heel ball toe landing as you step through. High lunge, bend the back knee, press into the feet and unfurl up. So high lunge. Let's start with the back knee bent. You might be feeling a little tight in the front of your left thigh and hip to start with. So we start building a little bit more heat, start moving the body, getting the prana, the energy flowing around. And then bring your arms down. You're going to place one hand in front of the belly and one hand behind. So I've just got the back of my hand touching my back, just to bring awareness to feeling the breath here. And you can probably feel too if you're kind of letting the belly drop and arching into the lower back. So keeping the back knee bent, so you're in neutral pelvis and there's length up the front and the back. I'm going to use or focus on directing our breath into the back of the body. So think of everything inside as just a big bag of water. It's a big bag of organs, but it's all contained in this one space. So as you breathe in, send the breath into the back of your body. Then as you breathe out, draw the front body in, draw up through the pelvic floor, contain the space in the back body. Again, breath into the back body. Exhale, draw the front body in, contain the space. Do that one more. And then from here, start to extend your back leg just to your edge. There's a little bit more warmth in the back leg now. And then if you like taking your arms up, or they can be wider, or they can be in cactus arms. But again, sending the breath into the back of the body. And then exhale, draw the front body in. Just continue to breathe like this, creating more space in your back body. You might even feel the ribs kind of opening out to the side. Inhale, releasing your hands to the floor and extending your front leg just to your edge. And you can push back through your left heel as well, getting a stretch into your calf, into your ankle. Relax your shoulders, let the head drop. And again, breathing into the back of your body here. As you breathe out, draw up through the pelvic floor, front body draws in. Bend the front knee, plant the hand, step back into down dog. Inhale, lower the knees to the floor. Exhale, sending your hips back towards your heels to child's pose. Unfurling up on the hands and knees. Bend the elbows, tuck the toes, lifting the hips high. Lift your left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest. Lift the hips up high, step through. Feet about hips distance. Bend the back knee, take your time. Pressing through the feet, unfurling up. Good knee bend in your back knee. Find your neutral pelvis. Then bringing the hands down, bring one hand in front of the belly, other hand behind. Relax your shoulders. Focus on the drishti point to help you with your balance, and then breathe in. See if you can fill up into the back side of your body. Exhale, drawing the front body in and up through the pelvic floor. And keep breathing this way, but taking your arms up overhead, or cactus arms, or arms wider. Breathe space into the back, into the side bodies. Next breath out, releasing belly to thigh, chest to knee, hands to floor. Start to extend your front leg to your edge. You can push back into your right heel if that feels good. Stretching into your calf, your ankle. Relax your shoulders, your neck and your jaw. Breath into the back body, fill up. Squeeze it to between the shoulder blades, all the way down to your lower back. As you breathe out, gently draw up through the pelvic floor and the front body in. Bending the front knee, plant the hands, step back to down dog. And inhale, lowering the knees to the floor. Exhale, sending your hips back towards your heels to child's pose. We'll keep moving on the breath, unfurling up. Bend the elbows, tuck the toes, lifting your hips up. Lift right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest. Take a shorter stance, stepping behind your right wrist. Setting up for Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. So feet about hips distance, anchor the back heel, stack your front knee, press into the feet and slowly unfurl up. And taking the arms up overhead, or wider, or cactus arms. Pressing down through the feet, reaching up through the crown of the head to get this lift up out of the pelvis. And then interlace the fingers, bring your hands to behind the head, supporting the weight of your head. Elbows opened out to the side, lifting your breastbone as you press down through the feet. And here, adopt that same breathing. Breathe into the back side of your body. Breathe out, draw the front body in and up through the pelvic floor. So imagine you've got a block between your thighs. Squeezing the inner thighs or squeezing the block with the inner thighs as you breathe out. You can make this as much of a back bend as what feels comfortable for you, but keep the breath moving and expanding into the back side of the body. Use your breath to lengthen the back side of the body to create that sense of space. So Warrior 1 is a back bend. So noticing the heat that's generated when we do back bends. One more full breath in and out here. So can you create a little bit more space in the back body? And then releasing hands to the floor. Stepping back into down dog. And taking left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, shorter stance, stepping behind the left wrist. Anchor the back heel down, stack your front knee, take your time. You press through the feet, unfurling up. Take your arms to where it's comfortable to start with. Press down through the feet, lift up through the crown of the head. Then interlace the fingers. Once you've got a steady foundation, bring the hands to behind the head, just at the base of the skull. I like to have my thumbs run down either side of my neck, supporting like I've got a neck brace on. Open your elbows out to the side, open the chest here. Press into the feet and just let your head rest into your hands, neck muscles not having to do anything. Breathe into the back body. Exhale, draw the front body in, up through the pelvic floor. So again here, imagining you've got a block between your thighs. Squeeze the block between the thighs as you breathe in, out. You can make this as much or as little of a back bend as what's comfortable for you, but breathing in, creating the length and the space in the back body. Actively pressing into your feet, so reaching up through the breastbone, reaching the crown of the head forwards. Then inhale, releasing your hands to the floor. Step back into down dog. Lower the knees to the floor. Take your knees out wide, big toes together. Hips push back towards the heels, but then before lowering your chest, slide your right arm underneath your left. Come onto your shoulder, turn the head to the side, and extending the left arm forwards. Just pausing here for a couple of breaths. Might be feeling lots of warmth in your shoulders. Then pressing through your hand, lift your chest up, slide the right arm out, slide the left arm under, come onto your shoulder, turn the head to the side, right arm extending forwards. And then pressing, hand lifting your chest, coming up onto your knees. Now either sitting in toe squat or back on your heels. I just want to show you that we're going to come into like a revolved warrior 3 pose. So obviously it's going to be easier to see when you're not upside down or sideways or trying to keep your balance. So I'll quickly show you what it's going to look like, or maybe something similar. Bending the elbows, tucking the toes, lifting to your down dog. And it'll be stepping 1 foot forwards and then coming up into our high lunge, slow and steady. Bringing the hands to the heart center. We'll then get close to the earth, focusing on a drishti point, stepping in, and then on an exhale, we're gonna open and twist. So I'm twisting against my leg. And then inhale back to the center, bend, and exhale, land. So inhale, stepping in, exhale, twisting and opening, inhaling back, land, and exhale. All right, let's go. Let's come up onto hands and knees, tabletop. Shift the hands, 1 hand's distance forward. Lift your hips up into down dog. If you've got a blanket across your mat, you might want to get it out of the way. 1 less obstacle to trip over. And then lifting your right leg into the 3-legged dog. Knee to chest. Lift your hips high. Heel ball toe landing. Feet about hips distance. Press into the feet. Unfurl up. Just bring the hands to the chest. Just resting on your heart. Find a drishti point. Now the key to stabilization is bending, getting close to the earth, because that way our muscles are going to be holding us. If we're coming from straight leg and trying to lift forward, then we've got the muscles aren't engaged. So focus on your drishti point. Inhale, get close to the earth. As you exhale, press into your right foot and then open to the right. Opening your arms out. Keep focusing on a drishti point. Don't look at me. You know what you're doing. Inhale back to the center, hands to the heart. Take a big step back. Exhale and land. Inhale, step in. Exhale, open. Keep focusing on your drishti point. Don't turn the head. Inhale, hands back to the heart center. Bend your right knee, stepping back. Do a couple more of those. Moving with the rhythm of your own breath. So this time as you breathe in, send the breath into the back of the body. Exhale, draw the front body in as you twist. Inhale, breath to the back body. Exhale and land, drawing the front body in. Let's do 1 more. Pausing here for a moment. Focus on your drishti point, hand on your heart. And then releasing hands to the floor. And step back to down dog. Then lifting your left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, stepping through. Doesn't really matter if it gets all the way through because we're going to be stepping in and out. But feet about hips distance, unfurl up. Bring your hands to your chest. Take a moment, land. Feel the feet beneath you, grounded. Steady your eye gaze. Deep breath in, get close to the earth, step in. Exhale and open to your left. Open the arms out, open your chest. Inhale, hands back to the heart center, bend your left knee, take a big step back. Exhale and land. Just moving on your breath. So if you can, focus on the breath in, going into the back body, the breath out, drawing the front body in. So remembering as you breathe out, draw up through the pelvic floor. So as you twist, imagine there's a block between your inner thighs. Squeeze it, draw the front body in. Do one more. Pause, land in your high lunge, just resting your hands on your heart. Then releasing your hands to the floor and stepping back into down dog. Lowering your knees to the floor. Come into child's pose. Either knees wide or knees narrow, whatever's more comfortable for you. Resting your forehead down on the floor, your hands are a fist, or arms can be by your side. Placing your hands under your shoulders, lifting your chest up. Come around sitting on your bottom into Dandasana. Staff pose. Remembering if for you, Dandasana is more comfortable with your pelvis lifted, helping it to tilt forward into neutral position, than sitting up on a folded blanket or a cushion. Take a moment to even land here in Dandasana. The legs are active, feet flexed. Sitting up on your sit bones, just relaxing your arms by your side. Chin in towards your throat, encouraging the breastbone to lift. Chin parallel to the floor. Close the eyes down. And if you're not feeling a sense of ease sitting here, if you're feeling like you're really muscling to sit upright, then lifting the hips even more, or bend your knees up a little. So there's never any wrong or right way. It's what way feels more comfortable for you and with your pelvis in neutral position. And that can differ from day to day as well. Now crossing your right leg over your left for a seated twist. Pressing down through your right foot. And just take a moment to feel weight evenly distributed across both sit bones. And then either keeping your left leg out, or if you want to try tucking your left heel in towards your right butt cheek. But again, here, take a moment, and is the weight still even through both sit bones? If it's not, if you've tipped over onto your left sit bone, extend your left leg back out in front. Then push down through your sit bones, Reach through the crown of the head to lengthen the spine. Lift your arms up overhead. Big breath in, lift, lift, lift. And then exhale, twisting to the right. Hug your knee and your thigh in towards your belly. So just notice as you do this, whether you lift your right sit bone. So keep the right sit bone pressing down into the floor. Right hand comes behind. Relax your shoulders. Lead the twist with your right shoulder, giving this opening into your chest. You can turn the head to where it's comfortable for your neck. Turning your head towards the front, chin towards your front shoulder. It's turning your cervical spine, twisting your cervical spine in the opposite direction. And then you can stay here if you want to try with your left hand holding onto your right ankle or little toe side of the foot, and then pushing out through your right heel. And then extending your right arm behind you. It comes side on so you can maybe see. It'll be here. So staying in the twist. Think of your torso like a big wet towel, and you're wringing the towel out. Right shoulder's moving back, and you're moving your right leg across. Weight still even through both sit bones. Pressing down through the sit bones, reaching through the crown of the head. Opening into your chest. And then slowly release to the center, taking your legs back out to the front into Dandasana. And now crossing your left leg over. Anchor down through your left foot, pressing your left foot into the floor. Both sit bones grounded. And then if you want to try tucking your right heel in towards your left buttock. Check in, is the weight even? Stable foundation. Press through your stable foundation. Lift the breastbone, crown of the head, arms up. Big breath in, reach. And then exhale, twisting to the left, hugging your knee, your thigh in towards your belly, leading the twist with your left shoulder. So you're lightly on the fingertips of your left hand. And then if you want to, turning the chin towards the back shoulder. And slowly turn your head towards the front, taking your chin towards your front shoulder. And just pausing there for a moment. So your left shoulder's moving back and your chin's moving towards the right. And then remembering you can stay here, or if you want to try, holding onto the outside of your left ankle or the little toe side of your left foot with your right hand. Leg doesn't have to be straight. And then extending your left arm back. And think of your body like a big towel, a wet towel, wring it out, moving your left foot towards the right and your left arm back. Pressing down through the sit bones, lifting out through the crown of the head. Still stable foundation. Lengthen the spine. Breathe into all the areas of your spine, the front, the back, the sides, the top, the bottom. And then slowly releasing to the front, extending your legs out into Dandasana. And from here, coming into Upavista Padangustasana. Of course, seated wide-legged forward bend, or maybe it'll just be seated wide-legged. So just taking the legs out as far as what's comfortable for you. And then you might even like to take a hold of your muscle, move it back out of the way so you're sitting up on your sit bones. And again, if it's more comfortable for you to sit with the knees slightly bent, bend up the knees to bring that little bit of flexion to the hips to sit up on the sit bones. Bring the arms behind. Feet are flexed with the toes and the knees pointing up. If you find that the toes and the knees are wanting to turn back, you need to lift your hips up higher or bend your knees more to get that flexion through the hips. So if you know you're tight in your hamstrings, that's probably you. That's okay, that's a lot of us these days. So press down through the sit bones, lift through the crown of the head. Breathe in as you do so, and then exhale, start to tip forward from the hips, lowering your chest towards the floor. Just be mindful that the chin doesn't lead, that it's the chest that leads. So the chin stays in towards the throat. Once you get to your edge, just bring the hands forward. Soften the elbows, relax your shoulders. You can let your head drop. Just come to where's comfortable for you. If you know you have more flexibility and don't need the knees bent, then straightening the legs. The legs staying active, pressing out through the heels, balls of the feet, toes pulling back, knees and toes pointing up. Now here, try and breathe that same way. Breathe into the back of the body. And as you breathe out, draw up through the pelvic floor and draw the front body in. To come out, press through the hands, slowly walking the hands in, lifting your chest up. And then bring the hands underneath the knees, bending the knees up and coming into cosmic egg. Cosmic egg, just hugging your knees. They can be wider or together, whatever's more comfortable. Rock the weight back onto your sit bones, coming onto your tippy toes. And then dropping your chin towards your chest. Now you can stay with the tippy toes touching, or you can try balancing, lifting the toes off the floor. Close the eyes down. And breathe into the back body. Exhale, draw up through the pelvic floor and draw the front body in. Then releasing your feet to the floor and getting comfortable for Shavasana. So make sure that the floor is warm underneath you, your chest and your back is warm. Pillow or a bolster behind your knees. Pillow or a blanket folded up underneath your head, supporting head and neck. Jumper on or blanket over you. Also have something to place over your eyes. Just to block out that that light that filters through. So take your time, get comfortable. And then as you settle into Shavasana, letting your body arrive in this pose, welcome your breath in through both nostrils and out through both nostrils. And then counting at a pace that's comfortable for you, however fast or slow that might be. Practicing the pranayama Soma Vritti. Soma means same, Vritti means fluctuating. We'll fluctuate between two different rhythms of the breath, but the inhale and the exhale will be the same. So you inhale for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then a regular breath in and out. Inhale for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and a regular breath in and out. And just continue with the Soma Vritti Pranayama, letting go of it when you feel a sense of space, nothingness in your mind, but knowing that it's always there to come back to if your mind gets busy, if your mind gets distracted. Taking a deep breath in and out. And start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, and making whatever movements feels good for your body. You might want to stretch your arms and legs long or hug your knees in towards your chest. And eventually bending up both knees, rolling to the right. Pressing your hands into the floor, coming up into a comfortable seated position. And bringing your palms together in the heart center in a Jali Mudra. Take a moment to repeat your intention to yourself once more. And then with it fresh in your mind, taking it off your mat and integrating it into your day, into your weekend. Now let's prepare to chant together once the mantra Om. And take a deep breath in. And lifting your thumbs to your forehead. Namaste.